this one was mainly only from only ink, but we're gonna add some graphite to it because why not? It's also going to be a bit easier to get into the nooks and crannies. My apologies for any background noise that is a little bit uncalled for. There's some motor vehicles being excessively loud. I don't mind the birds in the background, but when it's like a motorbike or someone just revving for the sake of revving, it's a little bit uncalled for. Mike Tyson fight was a little bit disappointing, don't you think? I mean, he did pretty well considering he's nearly 60 years old, but more disappointing the fact that he took the fight. Still watched it, but it's one tough son of a bitch. today's going to be more of a short sketch, just to reinforce the idea that sometimes sketches don't really have to be that productive. You can kind of just sit back and take your time to do it. Like, this is a relatively complete drawing already. I've got the form and a lot of the texture of how it looks, but I'm just going over it to reinforce different areas, give shading to places that I may have forgotten about. Like, it doesn't have to be ludicrously productive, like getting 8 sketches in 10 minutes, or 10 sketches in 10 minutes, or whatever. It can just be, sitting back, something you've already done, or just getting started on something that you've done, and just kind of touching up on it. And seeing why this works or why that works. I'm a big proponent of copying other people's sketches, because especially if they're already very good, like if you're copying a novice sketch or a novice artist, that works too, but if you copy like the masters, let's say, if anyone's ever a master, please let me know. But copying someone that knows what they're doing, essentially, because then you get a intuitive sense of why that sketch works or why that piece works. You don't really have to write an essay on it or intellectualize it heaps. That's probably helpful too, but if you can't be bothered like me, then don't. Like, if it's too much energy, don't overwork yourself. But yeah, copy artists that you like. Even if it's a bit challenging. There's a mosquito on my head. Another fun idea I've been rolling with is knowing when to stop on a sketch. It's kind of ironic because I'm going to be spending the entire time on this one, but I've done enough sketches to know when there's enough on that sketch, whether I've worked, I don't know, even if it's just 20 minutes or 10 minutes. It may not seem that long, but if it's not really going anywhere, that's fine. You don't have to force it to be good. Allow yourself to fail and move on. Because a lot of times, that's the case. Be prepared to fail. And be prepared to enjoy the failure. Because if you don't learn from the failure, if you don't enjoy the failure, then you may not be looking at it. You could be looking at it from a better perspective if you don't. Because if you do and you enjoy failing, that's not to say that you're going to go out and fail every single time you draw and just say you enjoy it, but when you do muck up or you mess up or you get the anatomy wrong or whatever it is, you can take a breath and realize that it's not the end of the world. It's just a drawing in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't matter. And I mean, that might sound a little bit melancholy or nihilistic, but it's also good to know that your drawings don't really matter. I mean, they do, in a sense, and if you're using it as an emotional outlet, then fantastic. It's a great way to vent your emotions and really feel your emotions. But also, if you're using it just as a way to spend time and develop a skill, allow yourself to fail, be shit, do things that you aren't comfortable with, and you'll see an improvement. It may not be the improvement that you expect, but you'll definitely see some cogs starting to turn. Like, I'm gonna do a future series on anatomy for the face. Not anatomy, just like face drawings, like drawing heads and portrait drawings. Don't know why that took me so long to remember. Because I suck at portrait drawings. I mainly do creatures and landscapes and things that don't exist, right? Because it's easy to, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but it's easy to come up with it's easy to come up with because it doesn't actually exist in this reality. There's a mosquito buzzing around. So, keep an eye out for the for that, because it's going to be something that I suck at. Right? I'm not good at facial construction, especially eyes and noses and mouths and things. I'm just not intuitively inclined for drawing people. And that's going to be a situation where I'll be failing and I'm going to learn from it. So, that'll be coming in the future. I think I eventually want to be able to do portraits of people in real time. I think that could be a really fun live stream idea too. Almost like a podcast, but I portrait draw them. And, got to get a little bit better at my portrait drawing before I dive into that. Of course, I could just do it straight away, and that would be fine too, but if I just had some relative idea of portrait drawing, and because I really don't know anything about it. I know the basic Loomis method, if you're familiar with that. But yeah, it's a very basic. I usually just get by putting big hats on people, and like when I'm drawing characters, I just give them big hats, or put a mask on them, or give them sunglasses, so I don't have to actually draw facial features. But yeah, that's an idea that I've been excited about for a while. I think it should be a good streaming idea too. And I think portrait drawing is just a very beautiful idea in itself. Spending time to try and capture the essence of someone. Because they're also trusting you with their almost integrity too. Because if you do a portrait and it's almost offensive. I mean, there are those, caricature sketches, but they also know that they're getting a caricature. So if I was to do a portrait and it was almost somewhat offensive, then, they're trusting you with that. So you gotta respect it a little bit and put some effort into learning that skill. So that's what I'm gonna do a series, maybe a 10 or 20 part series, depending on how deep I want to get into it before I actually start doing it on live. Patience. That sounds really like academic or detached. Doing it with live friends or people. So I think I'll do another 10 minutes or so on this one. I'm at the process now where it's just a very slow tick. There's not really that much else going on. I'm not creating anything else. It's just kind of texturing and outlining and shading. It's a really peaceful part of the process if you're in the mood for it. Because there's no real rush to get anything done. So I could finish here and be satisfied with it, but I'd like to keep going. Not much interaction from the chat today. Oh, there is. I didn't even read any of it. Sorry, Callum. Sorry, cool man. And someone else says something. The Angry Goose. Thank you. Yeah, I do use this mechanical pencil sometimes. I haven't been using it recently, but I like to keep it with me as almost like a paperweight because it's a very heavy. And I like to draw outside as well, so the wind likes to take the pages and flip them. So for the past few weeks, this has been my paperweight. But I really do like this pen. Mechanical pencil, sorry. And it's also good. I left it outside for a whole night in the rain, actually. And, it was an accident. Right. And the next day, we found it and brushed it off a little bit, and it still works. So, yeah, Roting has some legit German engineering. I also dropped it in a hardwood floor, right? So that you got the tip here, and I dropped it in the hardwood floor, and the metal stuck in with the rest just hanging out. And I mean, this is it's a hefty piece. I thought it was just gonna snap off. The thing was just like an arrow in the floorboard, and I took it out. There was a little bit of wood in the end here, and I just poked it out, and it still works good as new. Honestly, if you're looking for a mechanical pencil and you have a little bit of money to throw at it, Roting has some beautiful engineering. I'm not even sponsored or anything. It's just if you're looking for a mechanical pencil, this is the one. Yeah, I take this one everywhere. I also like mechanical pencils. You'd have to sharpen them. Although I am using a 5B, I think, my graphite pencil now, just because I have the luxury of my sharpener and my setup. But if I was just out on a walk or going to a cafe, I'd probably be using either this or a ballpoint pen for my daily driver. And oh yeah, that's the mechanical pencil for you. Really good. I heard someone say mechanical pencils are good for drawing mechanical things, and that kind of stuck with me. Although I do use it to draw organic shapes too. It is just when you have something heavy and straight like that, it's very easy to draw sharp and clean. Although if you do have a heavier mechanical pencil, shading becomes a little bit more of a operation because it is heavier and you have to be a bit more aware of the line weight. It's a bit more like a surgery than you expect it to be. But yeah, if you draw what you've got with you, honestly, you don't need anything fancy. I did this with a ballpoint pen. I did this with a big ballpoint pen. Now I'm using a graphite pencil to shade in. So, I mean, there's no right way to draw. It's just your way of drawing. Yeah, copy the masters. What else? Other advice? I don't know. I'm fairly new to it too, so I don't have the most in-depth advice for this kind of stuff. Yeah. That's all good. little bit disappointing. But, I mean, what can you expect, eh?
Yeah, that was my thoughts too, basically.
I think Jake was actually being kind of nice to him. He's kind of playing with him a little bit.
Anyway, that was paycheck for both of them.
Yeah. Should have bet money on it, honestly. I should have put money on it.
Yeah, well,
Would have been a free paycheck. Might go for another 10. Seeing how it's kind of picked up a little bit. Not very active in the chat today, though. If you have any questions or queries about anything, let me know. Happy to give you my thoughts as an amateur. Might finish up soon. If you enjoyed, show me some love. If you have any ideas on what to draw, let me know. Love to. Yeah, I'd love to see it. If you followed along, share.